expected. Ho, 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 ho.
Hi.
So anyway, that was the story of the first time I pooped my pants. But welcome everybody, Renegade Realm Podcast, episode 116. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. You guys are awesome. Shout out to Drake Williams, Barry Donnellan, Biff Rinaldi, Frost, BT Maverick, American Fury, and FarQ. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Shout out to everyone who's not in chat because I know you're there. I can smell you. That was my horrible Morgan Freeman impression.
I may only have a measly shiv, but it is highly effective when applied to the jugular.
Okay. There we go. Oh wait,
that's the rest of that quote. That's the rest of that reference.
Oh no, I'm fine. I apologize for the weird, awkward pause. There is no awkward silence because we have music in the background, so it's fine. But seriously, thank you all so much for being here. Really, really appreciate it. We're joined, as always, sounded like Bane. I was born in the doctor. Yes, we're joined as always.
Wife is his life, Mr. UPS man.
The wife of the life was ended by the knife, or however that goes. Yeah,
combining two wrong shows, sir. Two wrong shows.
Yep,
I was doing
we're all over the place. This is great. You might notice I'm not wearing a V-necks. V-necks, I'm very uncomfortable. I don't like not wearing V-necks. I feel like I'm being strangled.
I thought you were going to say, you won't notice I'm not wearing pants.
You probably have that as well. I'm actually going to take my pants off here very shortly, so look forward to that. It's very hot. Hey, we're joined as always by DeMarco. Hey,
howdy.
And Assassin.
Hi.
Great. Jacob Tupa and Highlander Grim just showed up too. Woo! Woo! I don't know what that was. I don't know what's happening today. It's been a busy day and I'm trying to get in the right space of head. I'm having all kinds of strokes. It's great. But it's so great to see everyone here. Lotus Esprit, Andrew Conan.
And I'm trying to just zen this stream. I'm trying to
I gotta get all stroked up for the show. That didn't sound right. Anyway.
Mellow.
Yeah, mellowed out. Sub immediately.
That's how I'm feeling.
So much,
I've had.
It's
been high stress. Like,
how you been, man?
It's been high stress all month.
What's been going on with you?
So, Frontiers of Pandora is fantastic. I got my Ecron, and it's so much fun just flying around. Dude, there was this. I was having a really crappy day yesterday. Terrible day. No good, very bad. And I had sat down and I was playing some Frontiers of Pandora, and I got to this section, and again, if I had to review the game based on my time so far, I'd give it like a 7 out of 10, right? It's not mine, but I love it. You know, that would be like my objective view of the game. My personal view would be like, it's a solid 9, because I'm just having fun in it. But I think objectively, if I'm looking at the quality of it, I'd say 7, right? Good game. But I was having a terrible day, and I got to this moment where you're doing like these painting thing, like it's a painting, and your character's like, I'm gonna memorize this because it's important to my tribe, to my peeps. So he's like, I'm gonna memorize this, and then you just sit down and you're doing this like water bed, like with the joysticks, you're just moving them gently, not doing much. You're literally just sitting there like up, to the side, down, back around, and a nice little swirl, nice and slow as it's playing this peaceful music. You got like the nighttime sky in the background with the moon of Pandora floating around out there, and you're just like, and you're just, it was the perfect moment for the perfect time IRL. And it's just little things like that. I have a lot of appreciation because it's so... Something like that I feel is very different from a typical Ubisoft experience, at least what I think of a Ubisoft experience, where it's always like, go, 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 bang, 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 and you're like, just high octane, everything's at 100 all the time. I think of Far Cry and how bombastic it kind of gotten.
Yeah.
And now I'm playing this game that's from Ubisoft, and it's just like, no, chill, like, look at the trees, look at the sky, look at the moon, look at the stars, look at the plants. You go, wow.
I love that.
It's special.
I understand where you're coming from. Ubisoft, I've been playing Shadows, and it's the same. They nail it, man. Like and again, I'm playing completely HUDless, no HUD whatsoever. And luckily, stop me if I've talked about this already. But they allow you to. You still know where you're going because they give you the tools. You just hold left on the D-pad and you have a pathfinder. So you're like, wait, where am I going? You don't have to go into any menus or anything. It's incredible. So you get to look at the world, the grass blowing in the grass blowing in the leaves. Sure, the grass blowing with the wind blowing the grass, whatever. And they have a similar thing where you go up and do like this haiku, and you sit down, and it's up, right, A, X, and it does like this. Dun, 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 dun. It does it over and over again. You had to, and eventually, the button prompts start to slowly disappear, and you had to just keep hitting it over and over, and you sort of like just get like anyone who's played Shadows knows what I'm talking about. You're like it's so good. I've been really loving Shadows. I'm like 27 hours in, and I just got to Yasuke. Man, I am loving this game way more than I thought that I would. It's really good, and I think I'm loving it so much because I turned the HUD off, because I'm really taking in the game for what it is. It's one of the. It might be like one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen, and I've only ever said that about games from Ubisoft. They know how to build worlds, even games like The Division, and it's incredible. Sorry, I didn't want to jump all over your.
No, that's
face.
perfect. Jump more. It's very much
okay.
like. It's very much just there's always this underlying vision behind Ubisoft games for me that never fully comes to fruition, or there's always some aspect about their games that I go, well, it's fun, but there's always a but. There's always a but at Ubisoft. You be but soft. And so
you but soft. You but soft.
And
yeah.
And I want them to just be able to create that 10 out of 10 experience, and I don't know what that looks like exactly, because everyone's going to have their own preferences as to what they would want to see added to what you think of the generic or the typical Ubisoft experience, what people want taken away. I think Star Wars Outlaws is a great example of this, right? Some people love it, some people hate it, and some people are just like, yeah, it's fine, but it's just not what I want it to be, which is where I fall with most. And so when I think about what I know Ubisoft is capable of, it's always so incredible to watch, but I'm waiting for the day to get that 10 out of 10 experience from them. And I don't know if that's just the bloat in their games that always holds them back. It might be as simple as that. I don't know if the storytelling, in my opinion, has always been fine. Like even in Frontiers of Pandora, it's fine. I'm not playing through because I'm like, man, the characters in this, I can't tell you one of their names. Not because they're like Atue and Zulik and like whatever these, random nonsense names. That's not, I cannot remember a single one. There was this character that you met for 15 minutes, and then she just flew off, and she was flying around in her magic dragon bird, and the magic dragon bird fought one of the magic dragon planes, and they both went and tumbled into the forest. I'm like, and the character in the game is like, no! And I'm like, I don't really know who this is, right? So it's not attachment to the characters, because it's not like this mesmerizing story. But I just want all of these things to come together, and I don't know what it's going to take for a Ubisoft game to do that. But
yeah, there's always something.
They got it. But
there's always a but, exactly. And everyone in chat's saying, soft butts? What's wrong with butts? Like big butts, and I can't lie. Hey, we get it, man. Fuzzy Tomato. People were pissed when Ubisoft said people's standards were too high these days. Not every game can be a 10 out of 10. Yeah, and I think there's always something about like a Ubisoft game that I'm like, I kind of wanted this little thing.
It's almost great, but it's just good.
Thank you so much, BT Maverick, for the $2 super chat. Thank you so much, bro. He says, ass, never go full Tim Dog. Just ask Sean Penn. Oh my God. I just watched that clip from Tropic Thunder recently, like literally like maybe it was late last night or night before last. Man, we got away with so much. I miss the days when we're allowed to laugh. I'm really excited to go see Naked Gun because I've heard it's so good.
Yeah, I want it. I've heard great things about it.
It takes you back. Yeah, I heard it takes you back to the old days of comedy when we were allowed to just be silly and laugh about things.
They make it sound like we live in some dystopia society where laughter and humor is not
you
allowed.
Can't, yeah, it's not
so
though.
sensitive.
It's literally not. You can't make. There's so many times I'm on social media and I see directors and writers and people who work in these industries like, oh god, yeah, we could have never made that today. Like, we can't do that. It's just not appropriate anymore. And you go, well, what really has changed? What really has changed? Obviously a lot, right? But you think, I don't know.
I think it's just a sensitivity. Like, everything's so politically correct nowadays, and it's just everyone's afraid of being offended. It's just like, just offend someone. Just let it fucking be funny. Why can't we just laugh at things anymore? Anyway,
if it's a joke, then everyone should laugh. Like,
well, look at the South Park thing that just happened. That was hilarious. I don't even watch South Park, but everyone loved it.
I did not either, but I watched the whole thing. I was like, dude, this is hilarious.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
But then, you know, who was like, oh, they don't matter anymore. They haven't been relevant in years. Like, dude, apparently they still are. You're mentioning them.
Exactly.
Slightly.
Exactly. Well, yeah. But yeah, Assassin, what have you been into, man?
So, I've been a mixed basket as of late. I have been going through Donkey Kong Bonanza. I picked my Switch 2 back up because I knew that DK Bonanza would be the game that would get me to pick up the Switch 2 because Mario Kart World just did not do it for me. Traded that in, by the way. So, I got to sub-level 300, which I think is level 4. If I recall, there's like 15, 17 levels. I forgot how many Umber told me. So I've been playing that, but I also downloaded the Shinobi Art of Vengeance demo.
Oh.
Holy crap, Sega and Lizard Cube have cooked, Red. Like, that is a 2D platformer I did not know I needed in my life. The combat is very, very simple, but the art style and animations are chef's kiss. Like, I seriously recommend everyone... No, I'm not doing that again. I highly recommend everyone try out that demo, though.
I just want to hear
like,
it,
please.
one more time.
No. You're not... No. Play the Shinobi demo, guys. I guarantee you will not regret it. It's only, like, 30 minutes long, but I really want to replay it again. Like, it's that good to me. I've been thinking about it, like, literally all week. And that is just crazy for just, like, a 20 to 30 minute demo of a game that I was just like, yeah, I want to play it, but, like, I don't, like, need to play it, like a certain game that we may talk about in a minute. So I've been playing Shinobi, Donkey Kong Bonanza, and that's about it.
Okay, just locking in, just locking it in.
Yes, and then for some reason I got a reminder that Mafia comes out on Friday, so thanks, universe. There's literally no time to breathe.
Call you? They're like, "Hi, Mr. Assassin, sir. You're just letting you know that the game is releasing when we said the game was going to release, so you can pick it up then on the date that you knew that it was coming out." You're like, "Thank you." I don't know why.
No, Twitter actually reminded me.
Oh, okay. Do you guys have you ever gotten the calls from GameStop? They're like, "Hey, your game's coming out." You're like, I know. I
get the call almost every time.
Like, they're always nice. I'm like, "Thank you," but I'm like, who mandates? I don't know. It's a weird thing. But
it's customer relations. It makes you feel special. Like, GameStop is taking the time out their day to call you.
That's right. I'm special.
To let you know how special we are. And Jake Tupad, if you press in... So, the thing is, the main character in Shinobi, Joe Musashi, he does not talk. He just like, Like, that's literally all he does.
He's got to stay quiet.
He's a shinobi. He doesn't talk. He does not talk.
He's got to be quiet, or he'll... What if whenever he opens his mouth, he's like, "Hey, everybody!" And you're like, "Oh. No.
Dude, it's the year of the ninja. Can we all just be, like, grateful? Like, we got 3 Ninja Gaiden games, and now we're getting Shinobi, too. It's like... Ninja fans in general are just spoiled.
yotai or yotai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I mean, they're not technically ninjas, but yeah, I guess I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
They still have stealth elements to them.
Yeah,
Like
Shadows.
ninjas.
You're a Ronin.
Yeah.
But, you can still be a ninja. God, that game is so fucking good. That's been like my chill game, like just take your time, live in the world type thing. It's been really great. And you know what I'm gonna do this time with Shadows, or with this time with Assassin's Creed? I always feel like I ruined the experience with Assassin's Creed games over the past few years because I don't just enjoy, like you always want to like replay a game, whatever the game is, at some point. And then you go back to play and you're like, I literally did everything. And I feel like with Assassin's Creed games specifically, I do this thing where I'm like, I can't finish the story until I 100% everything. And then I'm burnt out halfway through. I'm just going to beat the game. That way, when I come back to replay it, I got all this stuff to do. All these achievements to unlock and whatnot. I got to practice
I'm doing
it, man.
that with Frontiers. Like, I'm exactly the same way. I see all of these, like, the one thing I am doing is you clear these bases and then it removes the pollution. And I think the bases are kind of fun. Because there's a reason. I don't want to take up too long talking about it, but
No, you're good.
there's these side quests that are like, go deliver these goods to this basket and you get favor by the clan, and you're like, oh, what? No. Or like, oh, go off and this person is hearing whispers in the night, or the kids in this village are complaining about sounds in the night, go find out what it is. And I go, no.
Yeah, it just makes the replay experience more valuable. And you don't want to take too long. Like, what was I playing recently? Oh, I was playing Mafia 3, which I beat, by the way. I was so frustrated because the game forces you to do the thing that should have been optional. And everyone, I heard for so many years how Mafia 3 is it's bloated and it's repetitive, and I'm like, maybe that's just people not really liking the flow of the game, the loop. They were right. I totally agree. God, man, I was like, if I have to take over one more business, I just want to know about the characters and the story. I want to get invested in Lincoln Clay and all the... And it did the opposite thing. It forced you to do the Ubisoft run around, clear the map before you can progress the story. I was like, for fudge sake, I just want to
And
fucking...
there's times when that works.
Yeah.
There's times when that does work. Like, I love the way they did it in Spider-Man. I think they did it in the second one too, but it was like, you in between missions, he'd be like, oh, I got some spare time, like, let me go do something. And then it could be anything. It could be a side quest, or it could be taking on like a local crime, like there's a local crimes in progress or whatever, that's just go beat these guys up. It could be anything, and it counts. But it was a great way to break it up, and it wasn't like, no, you need to go clear 7 more crimes in progress before you can do the story now.
Yeah.
And I would have went, nope, no, I don't think so.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I've been in a Spider-Man mood too. You know what else I started playing? Xbox Original from 2002 or something. Ultimate Spider-Man on Xbox Original. It's backwards compatible. It's so stylized. It's so corny that voice acting is really not great, but it's very stylized in that it's like it looks like Ultimate Spider-Man, like the animated series, and it's like everything's like a comic strip. It's just been so fun, and I got it, like I said, running backwards compatible. I'm able to use my Series X controller and everything, so it's been.
Did you fight the Rhino?
Yeah, I literally am at the Rhino fight right now. Like, I'm literally, like, that's how early on I am, because that game does force you to do stuff to progress.
I still remember that. I played that game a long time ago, and I remember playing that. I think it was years ago on the PS2. Now that I think about it and remember that, I still remember this joke where he confronts Rhino and he's like, I don't know what he said at first, but then when Rhino stands up, he's like, I am so scared, I can't even finish my lame joke.
That's yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, he says something pretty much just like that. He's like, I am so scared, and it's so dramatic. Like, it would be a Holly nightmare if she ever tried to play that game, because it is so over the top and very like animated series. Like, whoa. Anyway, wish you can. I wish you BT Maverick. You can in Ultimate Spider-Man. You do play as Venom. That was one of like the big things for that game back then. But anyway, yeah, playing that. I finished Dying Light: The Following, beat that. Getting ready for the Beast, because I wanted to, like, I know it. I won't spoil it for anyone, but you guys should definitely go play Dying Light, beat The Following DLC before, if you're planning on playing the Beast. Go play it, beat it, or at least go watch like the movie recap of it, because it's really good and interesting. I love the tie-in to what's coming, and I'm so excited for Dying Light. Did that, and I finally started playing Halo Infinite with a buddy of mine, and which I don't think he's gonna end up being able to make it now that we started, but we'll see what happens. But really loving Halo. It's fun. I'm like loving it a lot more than I did the multiplayer, because you're just shooting stuff and Master Chiefing it up. Yeah. It wouldn't let you swing. Okay, BT Maverick, I guess you remember that as well. I only played, like I said, very early on in Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah,
So,
no, if it's Ultimate Spider-Man you're talking about, no, you can only jump real high with Venom.
okay, that makes sense, because the buildings are not very tall. Like, you're like in Queens, like the entire game.
I mean, if you're in Queens, then yeah, I can understand that, but I think they do let you play a decent segment of Manhattan where if Venom was able to swing, he could, but, you know, I guess they just wanted to differentiate Spider-Man and Venom just a bit, and that's probably how they did it. Plus, it was 2002, so...
Drake Williams, first time going through Halo, yeah, of Infinite. Like, I started it whenever it first came out, and I literally got to the part where you get outside of the ship, and I was like, I don't want to play this alone. I want to play this with friends. And then I started, and now I'm gonna have to play alone. but it's really good so far.
Nice.
Like, I'm actually really liking. I'm really just loving the whole just original vibe of it, I guess. Sorry, I keep scratching my nose. I don't know what I've touched, but I've like rubbed something on my nose that's making my nose itch. Anyway, but yeah, that's what we've been into. I've been playing other stuff too, but I've again, I was trying to catch up on. Oh, and I gave up on Code Veronica X. Fuck that game. Fuck that game. I'm just gonna
want a
wait.
remake of it now.
Yeah, that's literally. I literally hid it from my library, dude. I put over 20 hours in that game. That should have taken me 10. It hard locks you. I had to restart the entire game. Okay, it does. I'll make this quick. It does this thing where you get geared up for a certain thing, and then you progress, and then you get locked into an area where you don't have access to your inventory. So I literally had to restart my entire game because I didn't have enough save files to go back. So I got locked. If anyone knows, there's a plane boss fight where you fight a fucking boss on a plane. And if you didn't bring the stuff that you need with you, you're effed. You have to load your save back. And if you don't have a save to load back to, guess what? Restart the whole game. So I did. I was like, you know what? Let me just, I'm done for tonight. Let me see how I feel tomorrow. Got up the next day, beat the boss. Great. And it happened again. Later on in the game, I got locked out. I was like, I am so done with this game. This is shit. So I went on Reddit, screaming on Reddit, because that's what we do nowadays as humans. Everyone was like, yeah, that game will do that to you multiple times. And I was like, fuck it. I am done with this game.
What a great experience. It's just
Dude,
teaching you the value of tenacity.
I can confirm that Red definitely does browse Reddit when he's trying to find information, because I don't know if we told the chat, Red, but I think he had a question for Final Fantasy on that subreddit like 2 months ago. And I was just scrolling through Reddit and I look at the question, I'm like, wait a minute. Is that who I think it is? And then I look at the OP, I'm like, oh my god, that's Red.
Yeah, I was asking about.
And then I saw the comment that you made to that one other commenter. I was like, yep, that's Red. That's the tone.
I was asking about if the Final Fantasy collection was physical or not.
Yeah, on Xbox, yeah.
On Xbox, yeah, and everyone's like, nah, it's not. I'm like, I guess if Final Fantasy 7 and 16 aren't getting it either, I guess I would be happy with just having eventually having all the Final Fantasy games digital collection, which would be fun. But either way, I legitimately thought, I was like, do I just need to get rid of my backlog? Maybe I could just delete my Xbox profile. I mean, delete it. No more backlog. I'm free. I'm free.
I don't know if that's how it works.
I don't know that.
The ghosts of those games will continue to haunt whatever account that you.
You know exactly how it is exactly. Like I think about it, I'm like, even Code Veronica. I'm like, I hid it from my library. It's gone. It's not really gone. There's gonna come a time where I'm like, maybe I can beat it. Oh, I hate it. I hate it, man. I'm haunted. I'm haunted by the backlog. Anyway, you know what I'm haunted by?
The ghost of Battlefield's Legacy?
The ghost of Battlefield's Legacy. Yep. The ghost of 2042 that should have been Battlefield. Man. Guys, I'm sure everyone has seen the Battlefield gameplay. Well, Assassin, you said you hadn't seen actual gameplay. You had seen something?
No, I saw the multiplayer trailer when it launched, when they did that whole spectacle. When Vincent Pella came on stage, and then for the past 2 or 3 days, I've been going back and forth between watching EVO and then watching all the Battlefield gameplay coming from content creators, mainly IGN, because, well, I hate to admit it, that's the one site where I'm like, okay, I'll watch it. Like, it has what I want, so I'll just watch this Battlefield 6 gameplay. I will admit the destruction is something I have not experienced playing 2042, which I deleted, by the way, because fuck that. I'm gonna play the Battlefield 6 beta.
I tried it. I actually tried it. I think I told you guys I tried it last week just by myself fighting bots, and it just didn't feel. It didn't feel like Battlefield. I don't know how to like. There wasn't enough going on. It was just a big map with nothing going on. I was like, this is weird, man. Yeah, it just did not feel like Battlefield.
Well, 2042 was kind of garbage. So
it was really bad.
Well, I only got it
as bad as people said it was, right? Like, let me go back.
I only got it for $2, and after playing like 15 hours of it, I was like, yeah, that's worth the $2. But Battlefield 6, though.
Yeah,
it's worth $2.
Yeah.
It's worth $2. EA, you hear that?
I know. Hey,
$2. Battlefield 6. No,
it was $2. But hey, Battlefield 6 looks amazing. By the way,
Battlefield 6 is. It has everything going for it, right? We were talking about this before, but it has everything. It's when first-person shooters, we're not seeing creative first-person shooters like another Titanfall. That's not happening. Okay, fine. So what do we have as far as FPSs? You have some really hardcore ones, right? You could look at, for example, Ready or Not. That's a first-person shooter, but that's not a military shooter. So you have a couple really hardcore ones that are live service and ongoing, that I don't play, but they're on there. I can't even think of the name. Is Scum? Not sure.
Scum?
But there's a couple like really intensive like hardcore FPS games where like you need to be working with your team and they're a bit more realistic. That's not going to appeal to everybody. Battlefield is coming back in a time where Call of Duty has become Fortnite, and we now have an opportunity. We now have an opportunity to get a military shooter that's a more casual military shooter, all things considered. And they're not throwing in the cosmetics, so they were looking at Call of Duty and they're seeing all the players going, "We don't want that. Please don't do that." And they say, "Okay, we won't do that." And people go, "Yes!" And they're bringing the destruction to a new level, and people go, "Yes!" That's what I like about the destruction. They're not promoting all the live service. Notice that they're being very quiet. They've announced that there's going to be a battle pass, but they're not talking about that. They're keeping it on the DL. So they know. They did say there's a battle royale mode, but they haven't really talked about that much. They're only showing the multiplayer. So they know how to really get people excited, and it's working. And it's working. It's coming out at the right time when people are hungry for that type of experience. And it will absolutely be Battlefield. My question for it is really, or my issue with it, if I'm thinking sort of just preemptively, is what does it do better than, for example, Battlefield 3? Or Battlefield Bad Company 2, right? Because what's going to happen with this game, I can tell you right now, what's going to happen with Battlefield 6, it's going to come out, people are going to be like, "Oh my god, it's amazing, it feels so good to play." But EA would not be throwing they're throwing out beta codes like they're candy. It's like when Santa comes around for the parades. If you have these in your town, and they do like the fire department comes by and Santa's on the and they're just chucking stuff. That's how they're handling the beta codes for this thing. Right. And they know EA is very confident in this product, which is great, which is fantastic. But I'm just curious how much that fans who have been beaten down and they're like 2042 sucked. And I wasn't really that wild about Battlefield 1. And that World War II one that came out was kind of garbage too. And finally, and so they're going to be throwing out 9s and 10s in their review scores. Meanwhile, you look back at what it does better or different than Battlefield 3. And I'm curious to see what that line is. Yeah. Right, because it's similar to what people say about the EA Sports titles. People throw out EA Sports releases a thing, and they're like, it's a 8, it's a 9, it's a 10. And then you look at a review from someone like Angry Joe, and he's like, they had this in the game in 2006. They had this, and they just brought it back. And they've been asking for it. Well, and so
go ahead,
that's great that they're bringing it back, but it's not because they've had it back then. It's not necessarily innovative, right? It's not actually new. So I really do want to see where that line goes. I'm not going to complain if it's the same as Battlefield 3. If it was exactly the same, I'm not going to complain. Most people aren't going to complain because we're all hungry for that Battlefield experience.
Right. And I think that's exactly the strongest thing that it has going for it right now. Not only is Call of Duty effing everything up aesthetically, God, just give us an option to turn it off. Anyway, not only
because then they won't sell their skins, and they
because they're like, oh, fucking American Dad is running around. Oh my God, it's so stupid. It's the stupidest thing. God, I wasn't even angry up until like a few weeks ago, where I just kept seeing the gameplay and the trailers. I was like, what is this? But you can't avoid it. That's why I hate, like, all right, guys, we're gonna do search and destroy. We're gonna take it seriously. Here comes Beavis and Butthead running around the fucking corner.
Followed by Terminator, followed by American Dad, followed by Peter Griffin, followed by
exactly
a horse race of characters running around.
That's right. Yeah.
Can I just say with how much like positive like feedback Battlefield is getting, everyone that not everyone, but a lot of people I've seen have said, "What's the catch?" Because it's EA, there's always a catch.
It's
just we're not seeing it.
No, I really don't. I really don't think that. If I'm being honest, the catch is that there's going to be a lot more microtransactions that they're letting on. That you're going to log into the thing, and you're going to be. I can almost guarantee you're going to be the same way Call of Duty does it. You're going to be slapped in the face with, buy the battle pass. Look at this discounted skin. Wow. Oh my God. Look at all of these things. Yeah. And they're just shaking the jingly kit. That's the catch. That's going to be in the game in some capacity.
Yeah, I guess. It's just...
And that's fine.
It's EA.
Because the underlying experience... And they're going to monetize it. Like, they're going to monetize the crap out of it. And you'll still be able to play for free. Like, you could hop in a Call of Duty for free. But I really do think that's the catch. And again, everyone's loving the game. Which is great.
That is playing it.
That's playing it. And EA knows that they have a win on their hands, and I really do think that it's just a matter of, is everyone going to review this game as a 10 because they want Battlefield 3 2?
Yeah,
Battlefield 3 second edition.
The point that I was getting at, what I was going to say, I almost forgot. What Battlefield 6 has going for it is the fact that people are just wanting more of what it was when, and this is just a cyclical thing with entertainment in general, right? Like, look at Spider-Man. I watched Spider-Man 1 last night because it's one of my feel good. Spider-Man 1 and 2 are like the feel good nostalgic movies I just put on when I'm like laying down going to sleep. And a lot of things that people, this is just a random example, but a lot of what we got of the new Spider-Man was like what you just said. It's like boom, 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 boom. And you're like, I just want Spider-Man being Spider-Man. I don't want he's in space, immediately in space, and he's doing all this great. He got evaporated and he came back to life and he's got his mind wiped and blah, blah, spoiler. And all people want, all of a sudden, we just want grounded Spider-Man by himself, no help, barely making it out alive, struggling with his life. Like, that's what Spider-Man does, and we're finally getting that again. The same thing with Battlefield. We had so much Call of Duty back in 2014, 2015 with Advanced Warfare and all those other games, and they were trying to do things differently to like elevate it because people were starting to get burnt out with just the typical Call of Duty games. And then they went not so typical, and people were like, we want boots on the ground. And then they did the space game, and then they're like, what the fuck? And then they did the World War II. I can't remember which one came next, but then they finally got boots on the ground again. And then they ruined it.
Yeah, they did Call of Duty World War II, and
World War
and it
II.
was that's what. That's the shame part. Like, everybody was like, let's go back to World War II, and then both Battlefield did it and Call of Duty did it, and they were bad. They were bad game. Both of them were bad game. And then both of those companies went, see, people really don't want World War II after. It's like, no, we did.
We want Battlefield.
Just not the way that you presented it.
Effed it up. Like, that's all there is to it.
Hey, wait, DeMarco, hold on. You gotta remember, at least Call of Duty and Battlefield survived 2016. Unlike a certain FPS that will never see the light of day again.
Titanfall?
Yeah. Anyway.
Crisis.
Continue.
Where's Crisis 4?
Yeah.
Dead.
That's the first-person shooter, and I don't have any excitement for that game. I mean, I love Crisis. I think it's such a cool game. Yeah. I think it's just fun. You're running around in a suit of super armor, going invisible, and the AI is not good. And the story is, I think the story is actually pretty fine for a first-person shooter. I don't have high expectations. It's good. It's, you know what? I like the characters. I like Nomad. I like Prophet. I like, so Joker, right?
I mean, we've seen people on Twitter all the time saying that we had it so, you guys had it so good in the PS3 360 era. It's like, so you're getting a game that that's basically a 360 game, but it's modern day. And like, is that,
you mean setting?
Do people really care? Not the setting, it's just, the feel. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. It's just like, you know how Expedition 33, it felt like a game that came out in the 2000s where, it's priced at $50, they care about the quality and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, with Battlefield 6, it's kind of like they're trying to bank on that nostalgia a little bit. Like, game, Battlefield 3 and 4 inspired 6, and like, when we took the destruction into account, it's like Bad Company 2. It's like, you guys are mentioning the games that I've seen the community tout as some of the best in the Battlefield franchise. Like, do people really even need any sort of advancement? Because I've seen people say, I wish we could go back to those times. And with Battlefield 6, you kind of are. Like, if you want to go back, then you have to leave some of the current stuff behind. It's just, I don't really know how else to explain it. It's just like, it's a safe bet, but it's a bet that people would be okay with because it reminds them of how it used to be. And as long as they actually are honest about it, and it actually is like Battlefield 3 and 4, and Bad Company 2 to an extent, then that's fine. That's basically what Battlefield fans want anyway. So just let them have it.
Yeah,
and just go from there.
So the issue, your question that was sort of mixed in there is like, do they need to do anything different, right? Do they need to change stuff?
Well, not necessarily different, but do they need to add to it?
Add. That was So to that I would say yes, right? For the sole reason of there was an error of it must have been, and I'm guessing here, but it must have been like 2015 to 2019-ish, I want to say, or maybe like 20, I would say in that range, where the Call of Duty kept coming out year after year, and people were like, it's Call of Duty again, like, oh, we got more Call of Duty. And I think Battlefield was not, because they didn't have as fast as a release cadence, but it was just sort of this, they were pumping out the same, and people still do say that, right? But they were just pumping out the same things. And the concern is that we have to think a little bit further beyond. I don't think it's a safe thing to just look at, Battlefield 6 releasing, right? We have to think a little bit further ahead and say, okay, so Battlefield 6 does really well. EA launches it, and in their head they're saying, okay, we're doing just Battlefield 3 again, and we're pulling a little bit from Bad Company, and that's what we're doing. And then they see the results, and they see the success that this game will have, and they go, oh, so we don't really need to do anything different. We could just do this again. And again.
Oh, you mean that they'll
and
probably
again.
fall into the Call of Duty curse.
And that what happens is because all these reviewers come out and they say, this game's a 9 out of 10, this game's a 10 out of 10, it's a perfect Battlefield game, it's what I've always wanted. And you're like, no, what you always wanted, you already got. You just missed it. And so
Well,
there's,
okay.
I do think that as reviewer, it's not going to happen, but I do think there's an obligation as reviewers to look at it and go, this is fantastic. This is everything I asked for. I'm so happy that we're back to the roots of Battlefield. It improves in some area. The destruction is better. The gunplay feels better, like tweaked, more modernized, right? The map design is good. But it's what we all know and love about Battlefield. 7 out of 10. Right?
Yep.
But that's not going to happen. That's not
Okay,
going to happen.
okay, so
8 out of
DeMarco,
10.
Let me throw a question at you. So let's say Battlefield 6 comes out in a couple months, and what you say happens, right? The reviewers go, oh, it's a return to form for Battlefield. If you like Battlefield 3, 4, and Bad Company 2,
see
this
tons
is the
of that.
game
A
for
return
you.
to form.
Absolutely, yeah, I
Everywhere.
get that. And to be fair, and I mean, this is apparently what the community wants. They want Battlefield 6 to be like those games, which is fine. They want to go back to what made it special. But the next Battlefield after that, would you say that if there is no improvements from 6 to the next entry, that's unacceptable, right? But if Battlefield 6 to the next entry did improve on what 6 brought to the table, would you then say that that's okay?
Yeah, no, that's exactly it, right? I think
that's what
ultimately
you want, right? Like 6
yes,
to return
they
back
need
to 6 to return to what made it special, but the next one after that has to build upon that. It can't just be a straight line. It's got to be building blocks, right?
100%.
Okay, then yeah, I totally agree.
That's not necessarily that's not to say like, oh, well, the destruction needs to be 7 times bigger, and that's what they did, I think, with 2042, right? They had tornadoes going through the map and tsunamis, and it's like we don't need that, right? It could just be, hey, we've made sure that we released Battlefield 6 with 9 maps. I think the number is. We're gonna release Battlefield 7 is gonna have 13 at launch, and we're gonna have this many weapons, and we did take the feedback from the game that, you know, whatever that might be.
Isn't one of the maps a remaster of one from Battlefield 3? Isn't it like Operation Firefight or something like that?
Firestorm, I think,
Firestorm?
yes.
Okay.
And they're going to do more of that too. Like, it's going to be released with season content that's free updates, and they're going to bring back some other past maps. But it could just be new modes, right? Hey, we have 3 new games. Because once you look at something like Call of Duty, they have the formula down. How can they really innovate other than doing something different that people are not going to be okay with? Because you do too much change, and everyone goes, scary. And they don't like it. You do too little change, and everyone goes, this is the same thing. I already played this game. So you need just right. So how do they do that? Well, we've introduced 3 new game modes. We have more maps at launch. We have more customization options for your weapons in terms of the, not just skins, but the attachments you can do.
Yeah.
Those are how you make those improvements. The matchmaking is better, right? The technical side of it, those sorts of things. So
regarding Call of Duty, it's just I get what you're saying. Like, for me, I've been playing since 2019, and I think it was after, Cold War, the games just started to feel the same, like I was just playing the same game over and over, just with different skins. But in a different... I see why people complain about the multiplayer, like, being the same game over and over. I will say, though, Call of Duty has been... It's actually been doing pretty well on the single player side, like experimenting.
That's the other side, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Why
Black
can't
Ops
we?
6,
That's the other
like,
side of
every single level was like,
How
why
do
do
you
I feel like I'm
innovate? You
playing
made the campaign
Hitman? Why do I
bigger.
feel like I'm playing GTA? And it all fit Call of Duty so well. Like, even the horror one, I think it was a
What'd you call me?
Convergence, I think that level is called. But like, I think it was Raven who did the single player for BO6. Like that, I need more of that.
I was
Please, in
talking
Call of
to my
Duty.
friend today. Actually, I was messaging him back and forth. Shout out to my friend Jordan. And I was telling him, I was like, I wish that I could just spend $30 or whatever on just the Call of Duty campaign. Like,
Campaigns.
he's like,
Yeah.
that's not going to
We-
happen.
we-
I was like, but you know that people are going to buy it anyway. But the thing that you can do, if you don't have Game Pass, get Game Pass for a month. You just spent $20 for the Call of Duty campaign. And I was like, that's what I'm going to do, because that is what I love about the Call of Duty campaigns. Honestly, have gotten better, man. These Black Ops campaigns, I no spoilers whatsoever, but if anyone has played Black Ops 6, everyone's like, and again, even Modern Warfare 3, it's a 5-hour campaign. Dude, I spent like 12 hours in that game. There's so much to do. People just, bulldoze through it, and I get it. If you're in it for the story, we just talked about not wanting to bloat our single player games. We want to get it. We want to get into these games for the story and the characters and the narrative. But these campaigns lately have been so good, and that's why I usually buy Call of Duty games. Honestly, is to just get more out of the story.
I may be in the
They need
minority
to-
here, but go ahead, DeMarco.
I'm just gonna. No, you go first. You go first.
I was just gonna say, I may be in the minority here, but when it comes to first-person shooters, for me specifically, I feel like the single-player campaign should be the reason why you get the game, and the multiplayer is what keeps you there.
bonus.
Like when we,
Okay.
like during the 360 era, when you went from Halo 2 to 3, did you get it for the multiplayer, or did you get it to finish the fight? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
I may be the exception to the rule there, but I feel like the single-player game should be what draws you in, and the multiplayer is what keeps you there until the next entry.
I
And
agree
ever
with the
sin-
sentiment,
and ever since
but
the 20
different
ever
players
since
want different
2010
things.
Well, I get that,
Yeah.
but the point is, when it comes to single player and multiplayer, you gotta find a balance. And I feel like since Activision is focusing too much on the multiplayer side for Call of Duty for years, it's multiplayer. Multiplayer is what keeps them there. Multiplayer is what keeps them there. And then single player players like me and Red are like, well, okay, we're just taking a gamble. Like, remember what happened with Black Ops 4 when that was announced it didn't have a campaign?
Man, yeah, I was like,
I wasn't
I'll
even
buy
gaming
it.
at the time, but I remember hearing that going into GameStop. Like, wait, you're telling me this year's Call of Duty doesn't have a campaign? What the fuck?
It was
What?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Black Ops 3 had it. That's
Black
where you
Ops
get your
4.
legs broken off and you become a cyborg, kind of. Not really, but 4 was the one Blackout, right? With no campaign.
Okay, Cypher. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. To be fair, yeah, you bought it for both.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
just
the thing
saying.
yeah, but it is a good
just
point. It's like every time that I buy a new Call of Duty game, same thing with like another Halo game. It's like I am in it for the campaign first and foremost, but I can't wait to play with you guys when we have time. Blah blah blah. That's not the draw. Like that's not like what personally that I get into it for. Like, and again with Call of Duty Black Ops 6 campaign, I put like. I'll have to go check my list, but I put like 18 hours into that campaign because there's so much to do. It's like, but you don't have to.
They need to
You don't have
release
to.
the campaigns. We talked about this offline at some point in time. I talked about it with someone, but they need to just. I think it was Holly actually. They need to just release the campaigns as a standalone, and you could get like just play the Black Ops campaigns, and we'll sell it, and it's $40 or
think
$60.
Yep.
I think I brought that up. I said, I
just-
asked Holly that one time when she was still on, how would you guys feel if Microsoft and Activision, they released a Call of Duty campaign
Campaign
collection? Like Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3, Black Ops 1 and 2, as just one collection for like $40. It's just the campaigns.
They should. They absolutely should. And well, Black Ops 1 and 2. That one would be interesting, because, I mean, World at War is technically part of the Black Ops series, which is what
So you would add that
Yeah.
too?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, that's so. What I actually liked about, unrelated, but what I actually liked about Black Ops 1 and 2, I don't remember the 2 campaign as much, but what I really liked about Black Ops 1, and I know it was involved into a bit, was that they tied it back to World at War in a really cool, creative way. And then I never did like Black Ops 3, 4, or 5. And I started 6, but it got to the point for me where it's like, I don't, like, I watched the recap video, but when you watch a recap video, you don't really, at least I don't kind of get it all here. So I'm watching these things and I go, I don't who the Adler, this character Adler is really important, and then he shows up very early in the Black Ops 6 campaign. And I'm like, all right, this is Adler, and he was a bad guy, but now he's not a bad guy, and he's still kind of thought of as a bet, and I don't know who this is. I don't know what's happening. And where's Nova 6? And where's the numbers? What do the numbers mean? I know the numbers. Show me the numbers. And I'm just an old gamer, right?
Oh yeah, Maverick actually has a question. I think you would actually answer it better, DeMarco. Where would you guys put zombies? Like, is it in terms of importance, or?
Yeah, I need more. What do you mean? Where do you put zombies? Like if they? I mean, it's a multiplayer experience primarily, so.
Wouldn't zombies mainly go under multiplayer? Since I don't think you can play zombies single player, can you?
No, you can't. Yeah, you can play by yourself.
You can? Oh
yeah,
well.
Yeah.
Okay, then that's kind of a mixed bag.
Listen, if I need more clarification to answer that, but I would say if it's in reference to, is the background?
Oh. Okay.
Is Red's background just a random? It's definitely just a random like scene, but it almost looks like a section of Arkham Knight. Anyway,
no wait,
he has
I'm looking
a TV.
at it. I see it.
It almost looks like a section in Arkham Knight, but I'm assuming it's just like a random like cyberpunk neon-y thing.
Okay, we gotta ask him about that when he gets back.
Anyway, yeah, the zombies. If they're selling just like a campaign pack, I wouldn't include the zombies in that, right? Because it's just the campaigns. I think that's. I don't think that's.
Well,
I
think what Maverick is asking, like I mentioned earlier, single player and multiplayer, you got to find a balance. So I think what he's trying to say is, where does zombies come in? I think. Okay, well, I mean I think that's specifically a Call of Duty question, and their community should answer that one, because like, when it comes to like Battlefield and Halo, like, there's no zombies type of content in those two franchises. So like, where does zombies rank in terms of importance compared to the single player campaign and the multiplayer? I don't have an answer for that, honestly, because like, I think I may be the only one on this panel and maybe in this chat that does not like zombies at all. Like I tried.
I don't like modern
BO6.
zombies.
Like it
modern
is
zombies is just insane. It's terrible. It's not even fun anymore. There's just too much going on. It's too all over the place. The maps.
I mean, if
cool,
like Cypher said
but...
is true, like if there's a big enough community where Call of Duty players only buy or get Game Pass just to play zombies, then yeah, obviously it is important and you want to include that compared alongside the campaign and the multiplayer. So I guess honestly, if Activision just like did it equally, I don't know.
There's enough. What we know is there's enough of a community behind zombies that they have. You know, they're still telling a story in it. They're still releasing things for it, and they have a separate team that's dedicated to just making zombies content. So it's popular enough as a mode. It's just it's an ADHD version of what it once was, though, and I can't keep up with it anymore.
Maverick, just charge $23.33 each.
Yeah, there you go.
Single player zombies and multiplayer is like $23 each.
I do want to say thank you guys so much for all the channel members. Again, I do want to update the channel members because it changes, and I wish YouTube would let me know who is a paid member. But so I was gonna start shouting people out, but I don't think that's accurate. But I do want to say thank you guys so much for the supers tonight. It's so generous of you guys to do that. I really appreciate it. So thank you, BT Maverick, Biff Rinaldi, and Game Seeker. Game Seeker gifted a channel membership. Thank you so much for doing that, bro. He's like, he's so Canadian. He cannot help himself but to be nice. He's such a guy. He's such a nice dude. Biff Rinaldi, thank you so much, bro, for the $5 super chat. $5 super chat. Haven't done that in a while. He says Battlefield doesn't need to innovate as much because it isn't an annual release, much less burnout. They just do it to keep the quality on. Oh, they just need to keep the quality on point, I think is what he's saying. It's a really good point. It's actually a really good point. Like, Call of Duty is like status quo and add new mechanics and maps and modes. And it's like a new campaign, whatever. But again, the separate studios handling the campaign over the innovations with multiplayer does help a lot. But if anyone's going to be able to afford it, it's going to be EA. So hopefully, and I would love, you know what I would love to know? I would love to know where the pivot came from, or how soon after 2042 the pivot came, where they said, all right, back to basics. Let's give them what they want.
I can tell you.
Tell me.
It was when Vincent Pella came. It was when Vincent Pella came in. I guarantee you, that's when he came in.
Okay.
Well, he came into he came into DICE like a year or so later. He's like, he's gonna take over the Battlefield franchise. I guarantee you that's when he did that.
A lot of pull. I think
he
I
does.
think he has a lot of pull there, and he has a lot of trust. I mean, he was at Respawn forever, right? And he obviously there's a team behind him. I don't want to say it's all his credit, but he really did sort of bring Respawn to the forefront, I think, of EA as a company, and so, or as a division of EA. And so when they brought him in, they're like, hey, we have this franchise that's failing, like, fix it. And he says, okay, it's Battlefield.
I mean, after Apex Legends, can you blame him?
That's what I'm saying, right? Between Apex Legends, and listen, they're not working on Titanfall because I think there's substantially less ROI for Titanfall, and EA is looking at those numbers. It's not to say it's not profitable, but they look at the ROI and they go, well, we don't make as much Titanfall game as when we release, when we do more updates for Apex, or when we do more of Battlefield, or whatever it is. So they look at that and they say, well, come fix Battlefield for us. You had these successful titles. Come do this. And he goes, okay, but you have to let me do it, right? You have to let me fix it if you want me to fix it. And they said, okay, you can.
You know, it's really sad, though.
They're still gonna, like, I think if it were up to him, he'd probably go lighter on the microtransactions and stuff, right? I feel as though when you get to the studio level, I feel like when you get to the studio level, they don't want to do that stuff, but you have corporate that's like, no, you gotta put this in, you gotta have that, you gotta have the battle pass. But
maybe that was the unspoken agreement, like, hey, I come in, I want to do Battlefield my way, you can get your microtransactions after I'm done. Maybe that's how they did it.
It was always going to be a part of it, right? I think maybe he was able to step in and say, like, EA being a bit brainless from when you're looking at that corporate level, was saying, look at Call of Duty, they're doing all these skins, and Zampella comes in and he goes, we're doing realistic skins. Right. No, we're doing realistic skins.
Right.
And
which
he's like, if you want me to do this, we're doing it my way, and we're not doing Beavis and Butthead.
I mean, dude, I remember getting so excited with the Call of Duty skins that were just like other characters from like other games or whatever. Like that, you had Woods. You could play as Woods in the Warzone skins. I was like, that's fucking awesome. And then you could play as Ghost.
Alex
like,
Mason.
Yeah, you could play as Mason. Like, it was so cool. And then like, and now you're gonna play as Nicki Minaj. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And then it just went off the fucking rails after that. Thank you so much, Cypher, for the $2 super chat. Says, here's a beer. Thank you. Cheers. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you, man. Cypher's been...
Can I just mention one thing?
He's such a nice dude. Done? He's been a new community member here. I say new, but new to the show. But thank you so much for that, man. I appreciate you. Go ahead.
I didn't mean to interrupt, but when DeMarco brought up EA and Titanfall and Respawn, I was like, I get why people think that EA was the one that shut down Titanfall 3, but it was Impella and Respawn. I think that news came out like last year or the year before. I think Jason Schreier did an expose on it. No, it was that EA wanted them to do Titanfall 3, but Respawn said no because they wanted to work on Apex, and everyone was like, "Bro, are you fucking kidding me?" We would have had Titanfall 3, but we got Apex instead. It was just like, we are cursed.
Oh, well,
also,
I mean...
Yeah, they wanted to work on Apex, but I question... So my question, because I don't know, maybe you do know, is now they released Apex, like,
egg?
Hey... No, well, they very well were like, we want to make a shooter in the Titanfall universe, and we want to do it, and it'd be Battle Royale. And EA was like, okay, sure. And now they put it out, but I don't know if they knew they were gonna get tied to it the way they did.
No, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Now they're
Marco.
saying,
yeah.
Now
No.
we want to do Titanfall 3, and EA's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but Apex,
But we
like,
don't
that was
need-
your idea.
Yeah, I guarantee you that,
Yeah,
that
dude.
behind the scenes it was basically EA wanted Respawn to do Titanfall 3. Respawn said no, we want to do Apex. Now that they got Apex out, they probably went to EA. It's like, hey, can we make Titanfall 3 now? And EA was like, no, we're going with what you wanted, and we're going with Apex.
Yeah, exactly. Just
It's like,
You wanna do what?
Shit.
You want to do
What about this
Titanfall?
sorry, I got these
Now
money
you wanna
in my
do Titanfall?
ears. I'm gonna pull
Sorry,
out
this
of
is
my
my
head.
Titan. This is my Titanfall pile, and this is
Oh
my
my
Apex pile. And you
Right.
can see there's more in one than the other.
Right. I mean,
I have a
and
question for Red though.
I've always said that, and held that thought. I've always said that because I'll never forget the day that I played Apex Legends for the first time. When I picked it up, I thought like, oh, just a weird little spin-off game, and I played it. I was like, you know, you do that little tutorial mission where you're shooting the bots and stuff, and you're like, this is kind of cool, but I don't know, I don't know what the whatever. And then I played with friends. I was like, this is actually really good. And then it wasn't until like it started blowing up where I'm like, I don't think I've played it enough to get this reaction. Like, and so to me, it always was a fact of they were going to do Titanfall 3, and then EA was like, pull that plug. We're not wasting money on this. We have gained so much money off of the skins and whatever else from Apex. Fuck that game. And then just it's become trending and trending and trending and trending over and over and over again, and it's folded over into other studios and just the mind share of monetization with video games in general. And it's just such a stigmatism now with video games. It's just like, if you're gonna do free to play, at least have some substance that's not just, I don't know, like I don't want to say like Apex ruined Titanfall. The executives are the ones that made the decisions. I don't think Vincent Pella was the one that said, you know what, I don't want to make another perfect first-person shooter campaign. God, that story was so fucking good. It was full of heart, and it made me cry, and I laughed, and it was so good. But I feel like there needs to be like more substance whenever it comes to spin-offs. Like, if you're going to do a spin-off, Apex Legends and Titanfall 3 can exist in the same world. It's so frustrating. But go ahead. You have a question for me, Assassin?
I do have a question, and you know, this is to get off of Battlefield onto the next subject because we're going in an hour. But my question to you is, Red, there is a certain sequel that gained traction earlier this year. I know you've talked about it. What if after Battlefield 6, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, but if it did, what if EA went to Vince and said, hey, thank you for helping us get Battlefields back on track. We know that you're going to be a little bit busy with the post-launch content, but maybe after this, can you start working on another franchise that we license out? It rhymes with Parlors, Battlefront 3. Like, can you imagine Vincent Pella working on the next Battlefront?
You know,
Star Wars Battlefront?
It's funny that you mentioned that because we recently saw the incredible resurgence of player count in Battlefront 2. Deservedly so.
That's
that game
what I'm
is
saying.
amazing. That game is amazing, and I don't care what anyone says. It was shit at launch only because of, again, the stigmatism of monetization, which actually began with Battlefront 2, with the loot boxes. That controversy was so massive that it just put like a stank on that game. But that game is so good, man. Like, I have put hundreds of hours in that game just with friends. Like, I could go on and on. I love Battlefront so much. But there was that movement that happened a few months ago with the Battlefront fans, Star Wars saying, make Battlefront 3 happen or whatever. And I feel like it would be silly for them to not try, but there has to be something to push that IP forward outside of video games. And I mean, like with movies or TV shows. And I don't think we have a lot of Star Wars hype right now.
All they need is Galactic Conquest mode.
Thank you! That's literally
That's
all I
As
want.
someone
They
who's
don't
never
need-
played Battlefront, what is Galactic Conquest? Is
Yeah,
that
so
basically
it
just
was-
Tell 'em,
their
tell 'em.
like Star Wars version of
Mm-mm.
Conquest?
No,
It's
so
Battlefield.
so
Tell
it was
'em.
this mode in OG Battlefront 2. It's fantastic.
It's the
OG
best.
Battlefront
Okay.
2 is still really good. Also, to just go
Yep.
back and play that.
I
It
still
was like
play
the
it.
perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to cop in and play it a little bit actually. It was the same. It was just the bots were fun to. They weren't advanced or fancy or anything, but it was just fun. And I think what helps a lot is the music and the sound design in that game. But so
nostalgic,
Galactic
yeah.
Conquest was a mode where you have a capital ship on this little map, and
Yeah.
you move the ship to different planets.
And picture,
And
by
it's
the
like,
way,
it's
sorry,
a
just
map.
picture.
It's a map, and you're
Picture
moving
the
across
Mass
the map.
Effect. Picture like the Mass Effect Galaxy map assassin. That's sort of what
Yeah,
it looks
yeah.
like.
And
Okay.
instead of like manually like flying like in Mass Effect 2 how you manually fly your ship like you just pick, you're like I'm going to this planet, you go boop and you just bounce around. And the idea is that you have your capital ship, you're moving around, you could build new ones. The enemy has their capital ship and they can move around and build new ones. You can purchase units, so every time you win or lose, you get a bunch of units or credits that you then
Credits.
use to buy new units that you take into subsequent battles. Or you can buy perks, like you use your credits to buy the Jedi perk, so then you could use that perk, go into the next battle, and you get you could use the hero that's associated with that map. But the idea was every planet you go to, you have to capture all of the enemy's planets while they're trying to capture all of your planets, and just do conquest across all the different levels, all the different planets. And in between, if your capital ships met on top of a planet or in space, you would have a space battle. So it wasn't just all ground combat, because as the enemies moving around, you could intercept them, get into a space combat, destroy their capital ship, then you would go into, if it was over a planet, then you would go into battle on that planet.
Like if you lost, they
And-
would be like, "Now we're coming to your planet. We're fucking you."
Now
up."
we're
Like,
coming to
"Fuck."
the planet.
Yeah.
And it was all done in this like grid style map. Like Mass Effect's a really good analogy while you're trying to conquer the galaxy. And it was really, really fun. It was brilliant.
It never ended either. Like,
You make
bro,
it
I
sound
remember-
like an RTS.
Well, no.
It
So
had-
the RTS style part of it was just the map part of it. So it is
moving
so it's
around on the map.
just
yeah.
moving around. So just picture Mass Effect 1 map, right? Let's say we're going to Kashyyyk. We have a fleet over Kashyyyk. Let's say another ship flies in. Did I just die? I died. Sorry. Let me reset this. Let's say whoopsie. Sorry. Let's say another fleet, another ship.
Capital ship.
Yeah, thank you. Capital ship flies in over Kashyyyk, and we're not there. Then they are attacking us. There's nothing you can do, and now you are defending your planet. So then the map takes place like a Battlefield game, like a Battlefront game. You're now on the ground, third person, first person, whatever. You're fighting. You're doing the whole Battlefront fight. If you win, you win. If you lose, then you lose that planet. And now you have to go back and capture that planet, whether it be through, you still have to go back and capture it. And it's just this back and forth. So the grid map style is literally just like the first segment of, it's before the actual gameplay happens. But it is this like chess game of like, here's his capital ship way over here on Mustafar, and I'm going to move up to Naboo. I'm going to take Naboo, but I know as soon as I take Naboo, it looks like they can move to, I don't know, Tatooine. They're going to take Tatooine. I know they're going to attack Tatooine right after this, so I need to build another ship. It was just, it would go. I remember playing with my neighbors, and like we would have like one game that lasts like days. Like we would come over and play like for a few
you don't
hours.
beat it in one session. Yeah.
You don't. It just
You don't beat it
lasted
in one session.
forever, bro. And like, and that's why, me included, so many people were so pissed off when the Battlefront 2 collection came out, or Classic collection came out. No online for Galactic Conquest. I was like, dude, you could have had something so special here. God. But
Well,
anyway,
on top of the other issues that the collection
the
had.
other issues, yeah.
You might as well just play the original. As far as I know, you're still just better off playing the original.
It's still really great. I think it's been improved now. All the issues kind of non-existent from what I've seen, but I think it was all multiplayer focused. But I didn't really play a lot of that because, again, whenever I did play multiplayer, it was Galactic Conquest. But anyway, sorry, we went on a tangent there. But God, if Battlefront 3 ever comes out and it doesn't have Galactic Conquest, guys, what are you doing? It's all people want. It's all the people want Battlefront games.
And it needs to have a mode against bots. You can't just make it PvP only.
100%.
You need to be able to do it against bots.
Because that's what it was. You start a Galactic Conquest single player against bots, and you just make a save. And it was just like jump in, jump out. You know what? Let me continue my Galactic Conquest campaign that I've started. I'm either playing as the droids, you know, the CIS. Or the Republic, or the Empire, or the Rebellion, and you just play whoever you want, and it's just this. It was so ahead of its time, man. And God, I could go on and on. That literally defined so much of my childhood for like the types of games that I love. It got me into Age of Empires and stuff like that. Just like the strategic thinking of units and whatnot. It's a weird foot to put in the door, but that's how I got into that kind of stuff. But anyway,
so to answer my question,
yeah,
how would you feel if like 5-6 years from now, DICE comes out with Battlefront 3, directed by Vincent Pella?
I hope it has
Galactic
Conquest.
Let's say it does.
I mean, first thing first, I would hope that it has a campaign, and I hope that the campaign doesn't go all safe like they did with the second game. As much as I loved Iden Versio, and I actually really enjoyed that story a lot, the Disney era of Star Wars is just... What is it?
I didn't like that story. I was so pissed off. Like, I was 100% with Angry Joe in his review when he was just like, we're finally playing as the No, we're not.
Oh, yeah. It's the same shit that I get so tired of, where it's like, can bad guys just be bad guys? Can we just have a bad guy
We're
be a bad guy?
finally playing as the Empire. Nope, she's saving Luke Skywalker. Oh, okay, that's cool.
Exactly.
You sure you want to say that, Red, after The Last of Us Part 2?
No, because that's... Nope, we're not doing that.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
Not playing as the bad guy is not always fun, man.
Well, I just mean, like, whenever you're the opposition, like, we're playing as Iden Versio, who's part of the Empire, and you're like, what's going to be the payoff? We kill a bunch of innocent people, and they're like, well, we got to make it a relative, and we got to make her turn feel emotional because it's her daughter, and her... And, like, by the end of it, I was like, fuck, man, like, and all you did was, like, throw in little cherry picks here and there with, like, Luke Skywalker showing up and being like, hi, I'm Luke Skywalker. I sound like Luke Skywalker, and goodbye. And you're like, cool. It was
That's
fine.
actually a really funny review from Angry Joe. Like, I would highly recommend watching that. It's hysterical. Okay. There's a moment where, like, the AI, it's so flippin' funny. There's a moment where the AI just isn't working, and it just starts walking off into the distance, and Joe's just sitting there like, no! He just continues. And I was crying. I was in tears when I watched it. It was so funny.
I love it. Yeah, but I agree. Like, the reason that I love, and I guess, like, to your point, Assassin, playing as bad guys done well is something like, we'll never get this again, and that is Force Unleashed 1 and 2, where they make the bad guy have purpose. Like, they're still aggressive and violent. You'll never see a Jedi act the way that Starkiller does and Sam Witwer, but there was meaning to their character, there was meaning to their story, and they were still technically a bad guy. Even though they had these moments of levity where, like, Starkiller's, like, joking with, I can't remember the droid's name, but there are still those moments where, like, you're like, should he be making a joke? It's like, well, he's still a human being. He's not, like, a completely mindless Sith, but he is a Sith. But they made it work, and it was Star Wars before Disney. And that is just the
what was that
thing.
droid's name?
I want to say it was like
C-3PO.
No, it was something like Cepho or Moxie or Proxy. Proxy? Is it Proxy?
Proxy.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah,
yes.
We got there.
I was trying to think because I know the whole thing is like he's a proxy for other characters, like because he can make himself look like other things.
And that's how he trains.
I was like, Proxy. Yeah, Proxy. Good job.
Thank you. God, I want to go back and play that. But anyway, shout out to everyone here. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. It's been amazing. We're not ending the show. I don't know why I framed it like that. But shout out to the 24 people here. Really appreciate it. Please hit the like button. It's free. It helps a lot.
And
It
share
helps
us
a
out.
lot. And share. Yes, thank you. Share us out if you can. But we're gonna get into the next topic here, which is Iron Man is a game that we've heard about for 7 years or something at this point. It's ridiculous. The biggest. So let me just frame this for anyone who didn't catch the news. And thank you for Assassin and Arcane and DeMarco and whoever else in chat that shared, because I wouldn't have seen this otherwise. EA is working on multiple Disney IP, which Disney IP could. It's obviously we're not going to get like a Beauty and the Beast, beat 'em up game. We know that means that it's Marvel games, right?
It's either Marvel or Star Wars.
Right, exactly. Yeah, right. So we know that obviously the next iteration of the Jedi Survivor sequel is coming out. So Jedi Revolution or whatever it's called, which I can't wait for because I loved Survivor so much. It's rare that a sequel. I love Fallen Order so much. Like it was like so fresh and loved it so much. And then Survivor came out. And I was like, I can't believe I love this game so much more than the first one. Like it's so refreshing because usually sequels just like do the same thing over again, and then you don't really get too much, additions to what came before, what made it special. So now it's been being reported that there are several unannounced Disney IP, whether that be Star Wars or Marvel games, that have not been announced. Now we know that the Black Panther game got canceled. Which is unfortunate for the people. I've said this before, not to get political. I've said this before. I hate it that the devs, that studio got shut down. The people that lost their jobs. But the direction that they were going with, it seemed like it was a toxic work environment. If you want to go back and look at the director and what she had to say about the game, I'm not even going to get into it. But it was, God, I'm just like, I don't know what was happening there, but clearly they did not have a vision that was not working out, and we've seen this time and time again where executives or whoever goes to visit studios and like, what are you guys doing? What have you guys been doing? They were working on the Black Panther game for many years, and it just wasn't panning out. So
No progress.
But we've also heard about, and so sadly, fucking hate this so much. Dead Space remake is not going to get a sequel. Dead Space 2 remake.
Dead Space 2.
Right, because
Space
Motive
2.
was the studio that made that incredible remake. What a perfect representation of an actual remake. That not only did they make it more, it's just so good. They actually turned it into more of a Metroidvania. They like elevated that game, allowed you to travel back and forth. I can't believe that they made that work. It's insane. It's criminal. But EA Motive is now working on, and has been working on, the Iron Man game. So it's really exciting. Like my perfect Iron. So let's just frame it like this. This whole discussion. My perfect Iron Man game would be just Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man, but you're playing as Iron Man. That's personally what I would like to see. But DeMarco, Assassin, whatever you guys would like to see other than Iron Man, please tell people. But as far as Iron Man goes, do you think it's going to be the Iron Man from Marvel Avengers, DeMarco?
No.
Why would it?
Well, because that voice actor, I can't remember his name, but he is Iron Man in video games. He's Iron Man in the animated.
Adrian Pastar?
Maybe I don't know his name. So if
Is that what? Oh, you mean just the voice actor, or you mean like is it going to be the
I
same
guess either
character
or. Either
in-game
or.
universe?
Do you think it's going to be the
that-
voice
that-
actor? Because he's in Midnight Suns, he's in Marvel Avengers, he is Iron Man in
The voice
animated
actor
series.
is probably coming. The voice actor is fantastic. He's a great, not Robert Downey Jr. Robert
Yeah,
Downey
I
Jr.
know.
Right? He's fantastic.
Because he still does this thing like this.
'cause he's like-
yeah.
Well, it's different. He's different enough where you could tell, like, okay, that's not. But so he has his own identity to it, but it still sounds familiar enough where you're like, no, but I recognize. Right, he gets the snarkiness right, and obviously you need to be backed up by good writing, which
Yes, him
you
and
look at
Doctor
Midnight
Strange
Suns, like
and
Midnight Suns had
is
good
so
writing.
good. Love it
Yeah,
so much.
so
Yeah.
voice actor absolutely. As far as it's going to be like in universe, that's the Iron Man from Avengers is the Iron Man here. No, and the reason why I say that is because like Yuri Lowenthal plays Spider-Man in Midnight Suns, and so I mean given that's not
Yeah.
both EA, right? That's Firaxis versus But I think that they're all cognizant of the fact that we can have individual things existing independently of one another, even
Plus,
though the
Avengers
voice
was
actor
made
is the
by
same.
Square Enix, so it wouldn't make sense either way.
There's another reason there too. So.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Assassin.
Well, regarding Iron Man, like, the quality that Motive showed to the entire gaming community when they released Dead Space Remake, they know what they're doing when in terms of remaking a game, but making a game from scratch, and it's based on an IP that is globally well known. Like, let's be real here. Before Iron Man came out in 2008, not many people really cared much about Tony Stark.
Right?
But now, after the MCU, absolutely people are gonna pay attention to Iron Man. And I don't know how they're gonna do it, if they're gonna take the flight systems from Anthem, or is it gonna be more like the Zero-G environments from Dead Space? I think it'd be best if they find some sort of middle ground. I don't remember, was Anthem made on the Frostbite engine? Do you guys remember? It was? Okay, so...
It was that,
so it's probably like I said.
Wait, hold on. On what engine?
The Frostbite engine.
Frostbite. That's the
Frostbite, okay,
vision.
that's what I thought you said. Yeah. I'm yes, because BioWare was forced at the time with Andromeda 2. Yeah, yes.
Okay, so they have the technology. They know that they can do Anthem-style, like, flying mechanics on the Frostbite engine. They've done the Zero-G environments from Dead Space on the Frostbite engine. They can do both. I mean, that's how they can make them fly and do other things, but as far as the voice actor, I think they're just going to go with either... They're going to go with someone familiar, or they're going to give a new guy a chance. I don't know how that's going to work out.
Do you want to read that chat there, Assassin, to touch on that before you get too far into your...
They made Motive made Squadrons. Okay, alright.
And
take that back.
Canadian vaporizer marijuana dispensary review.
Okay, alright.
Thank you. But I've never seen you here before, but if you're new, please consider liking, subscribing. We're here. We're live for everyone. We're live every single Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we would love to have you here as a viewer of the show. Thank you so much. He says Josh Keaton is a voice actor. He did Earth's Mightiest Heroes as well. That's what he says.
Oh yeah, that was Josh doing Tony back then. Okay,
so is that the same guy, or?
I don't... I mean, Josh Keaton has voiced Iron Man. Adrian Pastor has voiced Tony recently. I don't know. I don't know who exactly that you're referring to. I think it was a new person when it came to Avengers. Anyway, so when it comes to Iron Man, I need to see what Motive is doing with Iron Man. Like, is it going to be open world? Is it going to be more linear like Dead Space?
It'll be
like,
open world.
What villains are they going to introduce? Because as much as people love Iron Man, let's be real here again. Not many people know his rogues gallery. At least, not as much as I do. Anyway, as far as what other Disney properties?
What percentage of his rogues gallery is basically just
Everyone
him,
else's?
but evil? Well,
Oh.
like I know like Mandarin, but I at least if your familiarity with Iron Man is through the Marvel movies, his villain is usually just an evil version of something with his suit of some kind.
I can actually name a few
That's true. Like
that
reverse
Iron Man
engineering
has.
his stuff. Yeah.
Because there's the Unicorn, which, yes, real name. He has Blizzard, Whiplash, Titanium Man, Ironmonger, Crimson Dynamo, the Living Laser.
But how many of those are
Extremis,
like
Mandarin,
different
like
versions of? How many of those are like different versions of like having Iron Man type suit or like technology?
Well, I mean that's a fair criticism, but then again, the Mandarin. Nah, wait, the Mandarin uses alien technology. Anyway, yeah, all of his villains do use a form of technology. Now that I think about it,
Well,
but
not
still,
like obviously they use a form of technology, but like Iron Man like technology. You know what I'm saying?
honestly, Crimson Dynamo, Titanium Man, and Ironmonger are the only ones that use like actual like Iron Man like armor and tech.
Right, gotcha.
But everyone else, they uses either technology or magic against Iron Man. Because, well,
Magic is cooler.
I mean, it is. I mean, Mandarin with his 10 rings in the comics, each one, it could be similar to magic, even though it's alien technology.
I'd like to see this as an opportunity to get one of Iron Man's villains into the limelight, like James Gunn style. Let's take this villain that nobody really cares about, make them cool, and we're gonna bring them in, and they're gonna have this cool story behind them that Iron Man is going up against. And like, I think the safe bet is say, oh, we'll pull in Mandarin because people like at least have heard of Mandarin, right? But I think it's a much cooler idea to be like, here's this villain that you have no idea who the F they are. Like Batman has, or even just DC has this rogues gallery. Like one of them, I think, oh God, he like uses meth and it gives him his superpowers, but only when he's high.
He's like, let's go! Yeah. I'm invincible!
Or the obscure villains, yeah.
Oh man, I want to see if I can't find him.
Regarding the Disney IPs thing with EA, apparently when Black Panther was canceled, it came out in a report. I don't remember who did it. There were 3 Marvel games in development at EA. One of them was Iron Man. One of them was Black Panther, which was canceled, obviously. And then the other one is not announced. So I'm gonna go first and just say I want DICE to make a Captain America game set in World War II. Anyway, DeMarco, what would you want?
So it's not gonna happen, but what I would like to see is an open world city. Obviously, you take the level design of Spider-Man with the mechanics of Anthem with the destruction of Battlefield.
What the hell?
That's what you want Iron Man to be? What?
Oh, Iron Man.
Is that what you want Iron Man to be?
Oh, okay.
That's
so
what
Iron
I
Man's
want the
just
game
blowing
to
up
be
the
like.
city.
No, but listen, like Spider-Man shooting webs, and you can see like,
He
oh,
has
the webs are
cocaine
sticking to buildings and
powers.
stuff.
Sorry, I just read the
But,
chat.
but Iron Man is shooting, like he has missiles on his back. He has guns. He has laser beams that he's firing off. Like,
yeah.
Like, you can't. There needs to be some level of, and obviously you're not going to get Hulk Ultimate Destruction level of destruction, although that would be really cool. That's what I want to see ultimately. But where is, how are you going to frame somebody shooting laser beams and missiles around, assuming that's part of what you can do?
Right.
And there's just it's bouncing off the glass walls of skyscrapers.
Right.
Like,
people are just driving through the city like nothing's
glass.
wrong. Yeah.
But then how do you justify? Well, you're killing people, right? Because obviously they're gonna want to stay away from that.
I mean, Iron Man kills people. Like Iron, like they.
Well,
they
he
don't
does,
even,
but
they
it's
don't even
innocent
shy away.
citizens.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. You're right. Sorry, I misunderstood what you were saying. 100%. I mean, yeah, it's like if a building is toppling over, like onto like the streetway, it's like, but everyone was fine. We figured a way.
Wait,
Yeah.
DeMarco,
They got
here's
out
an
the
idea.
way.
They got out of the
Here's
way.
an idea.
Yeah.
What
Go
if
ahead,
Iron Man is like Web of Shadows, right? But instead of a symbiote,
God,
what if
a
Iron
good
Man
game.
is taken over by a corrupt version of the Extremis armor? And that allows him to kill people.
Dude, the thing is, like, this whole, like, DeMarco, you set the whole conversation up so well with saying this reverse engineering story of Iron Man suits is it's so overdone at this point. The first Iron Man movie is about Obadiah Stane reverse engineering Tony Stark's technology. He built this in a cave with a box of scraps. The whole movie is about him reverse engineering. And then guess what? Iron Man 2, or is it Iron Man 3? The same thing, reverse engineering Tony Stark's technology with a bunch of robots fighting everything. I'm sure that we'll have some of that, but I hope that that's not the main focus, because we're going to be fighting flying enemies. Do you guys remember the Iron Man game from back in the 360 days?
You mean
It was
the
a linear-
tie-in game?
Yeah, it was like Iron Man
Yeah, I
game,
remember,
the movie, but it had nothing to do with the movie. Remember that? Remember those days? It was okay.
The controller's
but...
another villain, yeah.
Who is it?
The controller. I think you could fight... His name is terrible. Basil Sandhurst. Terrible name. Why would you name your kid that? Called the controller. He can put Basil, yeah.
Okay.
He can put controller discs on you and mind control you, but yeah, anyway. Off topic.
I had a bass player named Basil.
Damn.
Once.
Ultron? You want to bring Ultron into an Iron Man? Isn't Ultron more of an Avengers threat?
But that's the thing.
Snowflame.
Once again, Iron Man...
Snowflame. I found it. I found him.
Yeah. The guy... So earlier, let me give this guy his flowers, because someone in chat was saying, you're thinking of Snowflame.
Yes.
Who was it in chat? Because I want to make sure you... Snowflame... You're thinking of Snowflame, Fuzzy Tomato. Snowflame is who you're thinking of. He has cocaine powers. That's what.
Yes.
Yeah, Fuzzy Tomato is who pointed that out. Yeah. Snowflame.
Thanks,
I've never
Maverick.
heard of that.
Maverick said this earlier. Alcohol is Iron Man's biggest villain.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice callback to the comics.
God, man. Am I the
He's
only one?
capable of granting He can give himself superhuman strength, speed, immunity to pain, pyrokinesis, and the ability to give targets an instant contact high.
From cocaine?
What?
Is this a real?
It's a real villain.
God.
This has to have been during the New 52 run, because DC was experimenting like shit. Has to be.
Oh, apparently he shows up he shows up as like a background character in the Harley Quinn TV show.
Okay, so what's worse?
He first appeared in
that?
1988. He's a 1988 character. So
Okay, so he predates
Gotcha.
it. All right, so what's worse? No Flame, where you get your powers from cocaine, or you're a henchman turned crime lord named Bootface?
Bootface.
I like There's also like
Taser
Wheelman or
face.
something when I was trying to find it. Like Wheelman is a Spider-Man villain. He just goes around in like a tiny.
No, Red. I'm saying there is a literal
I love
quote
that.
unquote villain in Batman's rogues gallery named Bootface. Like
Yeah,
apparently
there is.
Batman's boots was like warmed up, and he stepped on the guy's face, and now he has a boot imprint on his face,
That's awful.
and he hates
You're like-
Batman because of that.
Right, you just got a Batman's boot on your face. You're like, hey,
There's Beard
Look it
Hunter.
that's hilarious.
There's Beard Hunter, who hates beards, and he comes and attacks you if you have a beard.
At what
What the
point
heck?
And kills you.
did Marvel and DC start running out of ideas, and they're like, I don't know.
No, these are the original ideas.
Oh,
These are like the 80s.
way back. Okay. What politically driven villains were? Beard started becoming more okay, and like we need to have
Wait,
a villain that
DeMarco.
goes around cutting off beards.
What, you don't like Animal Vegetable Man, who fell into a vat of amino acids and gained the ability to transform into an animal vegetable mineral,
The fuck?
and often combines
wait,
into a
Polka Dot
combination.
Man?
No Flame was
Like-
made in the 80s, right, DeMarco?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, 1988.
What you mean when the cocaine or drug epidemic was going on?
Listen.
And you get a
listen.
supervillain that uses drugs in the 80s?
It was
Oh my
it
God.
was a better time back then. All right?
Yeah, I
I'll
know.
tell
It
you.
was a simpler time. It was much more simpler.
Simpler.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
God.
totally agree. Let's see. Let me check the poll. I'm gonna go ahead and end the poll here. Let's see, because I asked what, and obviously you can comment below. But what Marvel/Star Wars game would you want? A lot of people are really excited for an Iron Man game. Force Unleashed 3, something else. Darth Maul. No one wants a Darth Maul game. The reason that I asked that
No.
is because there was a Darth Maul game in the works, and I think it sort of got overshadowed with the Force Unleashed, because it's kind of what the story would have been anyway. Probably just a revenge story with Darth Maul, but the Force Unleashed.
They need to leave him
themed.
alone. He was cool in the Clone Wars. He was awesome. He was cool when he showed up in Rebels. Just leave him alone. Like,
Yeah.
he's done. He's done.
And what an incredible man! Now, I'm not going to spoil it, but DeMarco, you've seen it. That Rebels episode. That
It was great.
The duel. Incredible.
Good moment.
Incredible. It was perfect. I was like, let's please not do another big bombastic thing.
That
with
man
Darth
has
Maul.
had
He's been through it.
that man has had his story told perfectly. Wait
Yep.
15, 20 years, and when they remake Star Wars, which is going to happen, when they remake Star Wars in 10, 15 years,
Yeah.
and they're retelling all the characters, and they're doing different origin stories, then you can touch it. But
Yep.
right now, leave him alone.
Exactly. Starring Luke Skywalker.
I want to see.
who plays,
I want to see a Captain America game, though. I know we're getting that with Marvel.
That's what I just said.
1943. I know. But I know we're
But the
getting that
developer,
with
though.
1943.
Wait, we are. Yeah, we are.
I know we're getting that with 1943, but I would like to see, honestly, what I think would be such a cool step for... It's not going to happen because Marvel and Disney is just licensing, which I think is the right move. They're just licensing their games out to studios for different projects, and I think that's cool. But I really would have liked to see a world where we got multiple studios that are working on different Marvel projects, and then they did all come together for that Avengers game. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Similar to the cinematic universe. I would have loved to see them try to do that in games as well. And if they're doing Iron Man, I would have loved to see a Captain America. Then I would have loved to see Captain America versus by Iron Man. It doesn't have to be like Avengers Civil War, right, where you have all the characters, but just like do that. And I think that would have been a really neat experience, especially if there was some choice and consequence involved. And
yes. Be careful of the bad ending where Thanos actually destroys all of you.
that was the good
Based on
ending.
Choices you made.
I was gonna say, dude, who doesn't think? Let's talk about movies real quick because I feel like we need to talk about movies more often on this show. Who thinks Thanos is coming back to die instantly with Doomsday whenever Doomsday comes out? I don't know if you guys follow.
I think it would be best if Thanos stays out of it.
But do you think that Thanos is going to come back just to be a representation of how powerful Dr. Doom is?
I mean, do we really need to bring Thanos back just for that?
The thing is, like, what they're doing with this multiverse thing, Thanos has to be mentioned or like, in some way, like, Thanos might get snapped or something. Like, I know it would be weird, but, like, I don't, and again, by the way, I don't want to see this. I'm just saying, do you think that it would happen where, because Dr. Doom, played by Robert Downey Jr., which, by the way, I don't know if this is in the comics, there is a run where Dr. Doom can take over bodies because his body is deteriorating, right? And he has to take over bodies because he has so much power in him. It's like decaying him, which is another reason why he wears the mask, because he's fucking ugly as shit. He used to be really handsome. Or are we going with a Dr. Doom that just happens to look like Tony Stark in this Earth 57 or whatever the Earth is, or whatever?
I think they're bringing him over from another. This is Iron Man, he was Iron Man. He became Doom.
Oh, really? I've never heard that theory. So you think that he was Iron Man and said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna."
No, well, something happened. I don't know what it is, but something.
He was
happened
adopted by the Von Dooms of Latveria.
Yeah, he might not have ever became Iron Man in whatever, but I think he is Tony Stark still, just from another universe, and that whatever happened, he became Dr. Doom, and now he's.
Okay, so he
was 8 years old, and his parents were murdered, and he was taken in by his good friends, the Latverian monarchs. He was given a new name.
I can't tell if
anyway.
I don't know about any of this, but so you're saying, DeMarco, you think that he is Tony Stark, but like that's his name and everything, and like that he's coming back as like I'm just gonna put on a mask. Because Dr. Doom has powers.
No,
he
had a different life. He was in a different universe. He had a different life, and then he somehow gets brought over to whatever Earth the MCU takes place on.
616.
616, And he was in his universe. He was Tony Stark. Something happened to him at some point. He became Doctor Doom. Maybe he became Doctor Doom instead of Iron Man. Maybe he was Iron Man then became Doctor. I don't know. But at some point in time, he became Doctor Doom, and then now he's in 616.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. That's a really cool idea. I've never thought.
And I
about
think
that.
it makes the most sense too, because then, I mean, obviously, I feel as though Marvel's putting a lot of weight on Spider-Man, especially with this, with how they kind of rebooted him a bit, right? They reset him a bit, and so I feel as though they really want to do more with that character, and this is a good way to tie in his relationship with Tony Stark, which obviously is important, but now it's different. So I don't know. I feel like that's the obvious answer, but I feel like it's the one they're gonna go with.
Assassin, do you have
Man, I
any
feel so
ties with this? Like, do you have any understanding of the X-Men tie-in of Doctor Doom and what they could be doing?
So if I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't the Avengers versus
That's
X-Men
wrong.
comic, didn't it have something to? It doesn't have anything to do with Doom. Then I don't.
I'm kidding.
Then I
Go
don't
ahead.
know.
I'm kidding. Go ahead.
No, so bringing in the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, and the X-Men just to deal with Doom, like how powerful is he? Like
He's
I know
gonna kill
so,
everyone. I think people need to be prepared for, like, with Marvel and superhero movies in general. Like, we see people die all the time, and they are somehow brought back for whatever reason. Doomsday is what they're going for. Like, that is what's happening. Doomsday is where people actually die and they stay dead. So we're talking about Thor dying. We're talking about we're talking about
everyone
people
dying
for good and being dead. To really, and that's why I brought up the idea of Thanos showing up and it'd be like, I am and just dying, because Doom's like, you're not inevitable, you're dead, because Doom is that powerful.
So there's John 9070. I've just had some chats with him.
Yeah.
He said he started off, he said, I've never seen a remake that was worth whatever, like worth the time or money or whatever it is. I said, well, look at Dead Space remake. He said, oh, well, that was a remaster.
What is John talking about?
And then he said the original game,
brother.
the original game with updated graphics. It's the original game with upgraded graphics and textures. That's a remaster, not a remake.
That is not a remaster, my guy. What the hell?
I haven't played the Dead Space remake personally, so can you explain why that's a remake and not a remaster?
It is 100%. You go ahead, Assassin. You go ahead. Sorry, I've been cutting you off.
Okay, so I actually played a good portion of the Dead Space original game. That game treated the issue more like levels. With the Dead Space remake, you can do a certain objective, but you can always go back to it. You couldn't do that in the original.
You could
Dead
never
Space.
do that.
If I wanted to go
to
from
make that possible. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. If I wanted to go from hydroponics back to medical, I couldn't unless the story in the original game had that already ingrained in. In the remake, you can do that at any time.
Yeah. Right? They added new levels in.
They added new levels. They changed the
asteroid
level.
The environments were not just like retextured. They were almost entirely new, correct?
Completely remade.
Yes, they added side quests to the remake, which wasn't in the remaster at all.
They even created a whole new enemy engine. It was a whole new AI enemy engine that makes it to where every time that you play the game, every time that you open a door, enter a new area, you walk to a certain hallway or whatever, it would spawn enemies differently. Like they made the AI completely act differently to where it was much more dynamic. Instead of like, okay, I'm gonna walk around hydroponics, like you said. I know that as soon as I walk around this corner, there's gonna be a jump scare. And you walk around the corner, there's nothing. And you're like, what the fuck? Last time I played this game, there was an alien there. But they completely rebuilt that to be much more dynamic.
Also
Dead
read
Space
the biggest
remake,
change.
Yeah.
Isaac can talk.
Oh yeah, Isaac.
Remake.
That's the thing. Isaac never spoke one bit, and they completely redid his entire face to look like the voice actor. He speaks.
Gunnar Wright, yeah.
Yeah, Gunnar Wright. Yeah, like they completely redid. Like there are differences, and I know, John, you said that Oblivion the remaster is a perfect example.
But that is a remaster.
Right. And I feel like Oblivion Remastered is a
That's all it
great
wanted to
example of a good remaster. Like,
Yes,
we've seen plenty of games where, like, again, I just played Code Veronica X, which is the HD remaster of the original game. Has much better graphics. There's no fuzziness. You can see everything. You can see all 2 pixels of the game. And it's a great remaster, but it didn't really change the fundamentals of the gameplay. It didn't improve on anything. It just simply made it look prettier. Even Oblivion Remaster, they made plenty of. I see a lot of people like arguing, is Oblivion Remaster, should it actually just be called a remake? I don't think so. I think that they changed. What they did, they didn't change things. They just sort of improved and
They
added some
modernized
quality of life. Exactly, quality of life stuff that they included into in that game to make it more modern. It's a great way to say it.
The Skyblivion is a remake.
Yeah,
in
that's
my
like
opinion.
ground up.
Like that.
Yeah.
I just read something today where they're doing like, it was cut content from Oblivion that I actually didn't know about, but it was cut content where they had apparently we're gonna do this mega dungeon, like big massive dungeon that you could spend like hours in, and they're recreating that, which was originally just cut contents, but they're building it themselves. All the dungeons are overhauled, still using the same voice lines and stuff like that, but they, and still using the same music. I think they're adding in some of their own tracks as well to mix it up. They are using the Skyrim engine, but that's a proper remake of Oblivion. Once you start touching, they're redoing all the cities. Once you start touching those aspects of it, now you're a remake.
If the game does not change the story, the characters, the themes,
Well, I don't think the
art
story.
style, hold on. If it doesn't change, most of it, it is a remaster. If the game changes most everything, it is definitely a remake. And Dead Space 2023 is a remake, my guy. It changed pretty much almost everything, but the things it didn't change, they just enhanced it to modern day levels.
Yeah,
Would you
we
agree
shouldn't
with me,
dwell on
Red?
this too long. Yeah, we shouldn't dwell on this too long though. Just,
but it is a good conversation.
We've beaten
to have.
down.
Yeah, and I don't want John 907. I don't want you to feel like we're just informing you of the differences. That's what we're here for. John says disagree. I've played both Dead Space versions and the remastered. Okay, I don't know what else to say to you, man. they're completely.
I think that's just the nostalgia blinders on.
It might be
that's just my opinion.
It might be nostalgia blinders. You know what's really fun? I always love going back and like whenever like a remake comes out. Resident Evil 4 is actually, I think, a great example because a lot of people said the same thing. Resident Evil 4 is just a up-res, prettier version. It's not at all. Yes, they remade areas, but they added so much to the game. And again, Assassin, they even added the Metroidvania aspect to Resident Evil 4. You can go back. There's so much that you can do in that game now that you could
Resident
never
Evil 2.
and Resident
John,
Evil 2. Yeah, that's a full one.
Mavericks, thank you for that.
Yeah.
John just needs to then, because we're in agreement on this panel, but John just needs to then clarify what he thinks. If Dead Space, you don't consider Dead Space a remake.
What is a remake?
And it's added all of this. And it's added all of that stuff, right? It's added new levels, it's added new enemy AI, it's added new environments, it's added the Metroidvania aspects. It obviously the visual overhauls go without saying. Entirely remade some of the level design. If that's not a remake to you, what is a remake? And I can understand the nothing changed in Dead Space. All right, he's just trolling at this point. But
great show. Good chat. Thank you for being nice. At least
I
we
can
really
understand, right?
Yeah.
I can understand. There's an argument. I think there is a fair argument to be had if you're talking about remakes. That it's like, no, a remake should be something that says we're rebooting, like we're redoing it. But then that's what the term reboot exists for, right?
Right.
A reboot of a series is saying, well, we're gonna take it and forget what you know about Dead Space. We're redoing it, and it's its own chronological order, and it doesn't have ties to, it's tied to the original, but only loosely. in the sense that, like, to use a franchise I'm more familiar with, we're gonna reboot Alien. Amanda Ripley never happened, and all that stuff didn't happen, but xenomorphs are still there, right?
Yeah.
But other than that, it's redone. Planet of the Apes, the new Planet of the Apes movie is one of my favorite trilogies. It seems like they're kind of tying it back to the originals, but that, for the most part, if it stands down, you just take the first 3 movies and you say that's it, that's all they made, that's a reboot, right? It's telling a new story. There's still apes taking over the planet, but it's
Hey,
still...
Red. Imagine Square Enix comes up to you. They show you 5 minutes of the original Final Fantasy VII, right?
I knew you were gonna say that.
Then they show you the remake, and they say, "Look at this remaster." Would you agree it's a remaster?
I'd be like, "Are you sure?"
smoking?
Yeah. It's funny.
One
like,
is turn-based, the other is not.
Do you think, like, I wonder how much of Advent Children, Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, played into the design of the characters?
100%.
Like
100%.
Like there without that, there would never have been like the actual like what people viewed Cloud Strife or Sephiroth or whatever in like 3D. That played a huge part in that. It's 100% a remake. But yeah, see, John says finish the game, finish the original game, bro, and finish the remaster. The remaster experience brought it up to the upgraded tech. All right, that's good. That's good. That's great. Arcane.
So
there's a lot that's happening here. Sorry, real quick, I want to get to Game Secret. I feel like I'm sorry, guys. I always want to attempt to read everyone's super chat. Game Seeker said, "Wonder if they will do a Doctor Doom God angle." I think that's what we're getting. So what I, and again, we don't have to stay on this for too long at all. All I was saying is that there's 2 things that can happen. There is the Doctor Doom angle that is, he just looks like Tony Stark, and everyone's like, "Tony, you're alive! Oh my God, what the hell happened? Oh my God!" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm Tony Stark." Or Victor Von Doom looks like Tony Stark in his universe or whatever, and he is just Victor Von Doom. I don't know. But I do think that they're going to go the God angle, but we don't even have to have a conversation about that. Running out of time. John says, "I'm not trolling because I disagree." We know. I think you're behind, John, on the.
There's a conspiracy theory, Red.
We are not beating you down at all, bro. We're just having a conversation, and I'm glad that we're able to have talks like this.
No, he's making a comment on what I said.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, we're not. Yeah, we know that you're not trolling. You're just. It's your opinion, man. It's all good, bro. It's all good. Noise Mofo, Arcane. It's a pissing match. Oh yeah, he's responding to.
Responding to Arcane.
Yeah.
What did I miss?
No, I love it, dude. I love. Like I want to engage with the chat so much. Sorry, I want to engage with the chat more often like this. Like I love that we're able to have conversations without just having trolls in chat, actual trolls being like dickheads. Mm-hmm. It's great. I love it because I've always said you could live 100 years and never have the same perspective. I love having different perspectives. Like it's an interesting thought. Does Isaac Clarke talk in the first game? No, he does not. He just goes and dies a lot. Like it's literally all he does. It's literally all he does. He only BT Maverick. He only talks in 3. It's the first time that he ever actually speaks.
What? He talks in 2. What are you talking about?
No. That's the remake.
Yes, he does.
That's the remake.
He talks in Dead Space 2.
I'm kidding. But no, 3 is whenever he has like full on dialogue and like talks a lot.
Huh?
Yeah.
Please tell me you're trolling, because I've seen the cutscenes from Dead Space 2 and he talks a lot.
Assassin, it's the remaster. You're talking about the remaster.
They remastered Okay. All right.
No.
So he didn't talk in the original DS2?
No. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know.
This is why I question you.
I don't think that he talked until 3.
Can someone fact check Red on that? Because I'm pretty sure he talks in 2.
Hey Siri. Hang on. Did
I remember a
Isaac Clarke
specific
talk
clip
in Dead Space 2. Isaac Clarke speaking pattern. This is so dumb. This stupid AI shit.
Isaac Clarke speaking pattern.
So AI, I hate AI, man.
Woo!
In Dead Space 2 and 3, Isaac becomes more vocal, engaging in conversations and expressing himself through spoken words. Dead Space 2, Isaac becomes... Shut up.
So yes, he talks.
So yes, he talks in Dead Space 2. I apologize. Listen, you get nothing but facts on this show. Anyway, he speaks in 2. Thank you, BT Maverick. Appreciate BT Maverick says appreciate John's views regardless. Exactly. We appreciate it, man. We really. That's the whole reason for conversation. Cheers, guys. Cheers to you. Cheers to everyone. If you haven't hit the like button, please do so right now. It's your last chance. Please hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. We go live every single Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's fantastic. And there are other podcasts you can check out with DeMarco. And DeMarco, where can they find that podcast?
Thursdays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please consider stopping by for a double dose of DeMarco over on my channel. Link in the description below.
There you go. There you go. And Assassin, where can people find your content? I don't know why I say it like that.
You can find me at You can find me at Assassin52 on Twitter. I mainly just respond to news and I give my opinions on Twitter. And that's the base of what I do because I'm mainly either at work or I'm playing games. Because that's my life, and I'm happy with that.
Noise Mofo says, "Hey Cortana, rewrite the definition of remake." Hey Siri, can you tell me the definition of the pasta? But it's like pasta, a thing you buy in a box at Walmart. Thanks.
I'm just saying, if I agree with DeMarco and or BT Maverick, whatever you're saying, you're on the wrong side, my bar.
Yeah, BT Maverick, I'm gonna get Isaac
we
to
never
put a needle
agree.
in your eye. Oh my God, Dead Space 2, needle in the eye. That's like classic, bro. I'll never forget that as long as I live. He's like,
what's it doing?
Yeah, it's so good.
What it's meant to do, Isaac. You have to make us whole by putting a needle in my eye.
Put a needle in my hole, Isaac. Yeah, it was God. It was so good. I'll never forget that. Anyway, you can find me on Twitter. Sorry, I'm having hiccups. Please follow me on Twitter if you haven't already. All of our links are in the description below. Please follow DeMarco. Subscribe to his channel. He's got a podcast, like you said, every Thursday. 8. What time is it?
6:30 p.m.
9.
Yeah, that's what I was. 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please go check him out there to get a double dose of D. And Assassin's Twitter link and a YouTube link and everything else is there as well. So please. And shout out to John907 and Canadian Vaporizer Marijuana Dispensary Reviews for showing up and talking in chat. I don't know if you guys are already subscribed, but if you're not, that means kind of more because you're like, I subscribed for Starfield or Stalker, and then here I am. I'm going to check out this asshole's live show that gets blown up in my feed every effing week. What the hell is this? And you decided to say...
Remember when Red made videos, DeMarco?
Listen, it's going to... Listen, I remember. Peppered Farm remembers. But listen, we'll get whatever. I just did, he says. Oh, you just did. Thank you so much for doing that. You are the 2,177th subscriber since we lost one at the beginning of the show. I love Double D's. Yeah, that's the best. And if you want more Double D, Thursdays, go subscribe to DeMarco. Links in the description below. Go check out Assassin as well. Please, God. And look, we'll be back next week, so please hit the like button on your way out. Be sure to slap your ass, wipe your mouth, and put some deodorant on because it's hot out there. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Anyway, we'll see you guys next week. Goodbye, everyone. Oh.